Top 10 of the most beautiful Crusader castles. This is a list of spectacular Crusader castles built or occupied during the 11th and 13th centuries in the eastern Mediterranean and the Middle East. Number 10 Kyrenia Castle, Cyprus. Located at the historic harbor of Kyrenia's east end. In 1191, King Richard the Lionheart of England captured Cyprus on his way to the Third Crusade. The castle was built swiftly and then enlarged over time. The castle's main purpose was to serve as a military stronghold. The current castle was built on top of the Crusaders' citadel in the 16th century. Number 9 Chateau Pelerin, Israel. Castle Pilgrim, also known as Atlit Castle, is located 13 kilometers, 8.1 miles, south of Haifa on Israel's northern shore. The Knights Templar began construction in 1218 during the Fifth Crusade. It was a crucial Crusader fortification, capable of supporting up to 4,000 troops in a siege. Between August 3 and 14, 1291, the final Crusader garrison in the Holy Land was surrendered to the Mamluks and evacuated. It stood for hundreds of years until the Galilee earthquake of 1837 destroyed it. The ruins of the castle are presently used by Israeli naval commandos as a training facility. Number 8 Colossae Castle, Cyprus. A Crusader stronghold located 14 kilometers, 9 miles, west of Limassol on the island of Cyprus. It was strategically important because it housed sugar-making facilities, which were one of Cyprus' main exports during the Middle Ages. The initial castle was apparently erected around 1210 when King Hugh III donated the area of Colossae to the Knights of the Order of St. John of Jerusalem, Hospitallers. The Hospitallers completed the existing castle in 1454. The stronghold is home to the Templars, Hospitallers, and other religious orders. Number 7 Beaufort Castle, Lebanon. Beaufort is derived from the French phrase beautiful castle, which meaning beautiful castle. The territory was conquered by Fulk, king of Jerusalem, in 1139, and construction on the Crusader fortification began soon after. It passed through many hands after that, culminating in Saladin's capture of Beaufort in 1189. In 1240, the Crusaders recovered it, and in 1260, it was sold to the secretive Knights Templar, only to be lost to Sultan Baybars in 1265. Because of its vantage point above the plains of southern Lebanon and northern Israel, Beaufort has become involved in the ongoing Middle East issue. In recent years, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO, has used the castle to shoot rockets into Israel, but Israel captured it during the Battle of the Beaufort in the 1982 war. After that, it served as an Israeli military outpost until Israel's departure from South Lebanon in 2000. Number 6 Arsuf, Israel. This ancient city and stronghold, also known as Apollonia, is located 15 kilometers north of Tel Aviv on a cliff above the Mediterranean Sea. Number 5 Citadel of Salah ed-Din, Syria. Saladin Castle, also known as Saladin Stronghold, is named after the legendary Muslim leader Saladin, who was also known as Saladin in the West. The Crusader fortification is just one of a sequence of military structures on this side, and there was an ancient fortress here. Arabs, Byzantines, and Crusaders all struggled for control of this stronghold. The Byzantines reinforced it with 3 5-meter thick walls in the year 1000. Following that, the Crusaders built the eastern moat. Its 24-meter high tower, miniature defense towers, squares, and stables made it unstoppable. Near the Byzantine walls, the remains of an old church used by the Byzantines and later by the Crusaders can be found. Number 4 Crozet de Chuvalier, Syria. This massive hilltop structure in Syria is both the world's largest Crusader castle and one of the best preserved medieval fortresses. In the 11th century, a Kurd hamlet established itself on the site. It was given to the Knights Hospitaller by Raymond II, Count of Tripoli, in 1142. It remained in their possession until 1271, when it finally fell apart. Number 3 Beaudrum Castle, Turkey. In the city of Beaudrum in southwest Turkey, the Knights Hospitaller began building on this stronghold in 1402. It currently houses an incredible underwater archaeological museum, with objects unearthed from ships that sank as recently as 3,000 years ago in the Aegean Sea. Number 2 Karak Castle, Jordan. A large Crusader fortress can be found in Jordan's Karak. It is one of the largest Crusader fortifications in the Levant. Pagan, Fulk of Jerusalem's butler, erected the stronghold in the 1140s. Krak des Moabites, or Karak in Moab, as it is known in history books, was the Crusaders' name for it. Number 1 Belvoir Fortress, Israel. A Crusader fortress in northern Israel, 20 kilometers, 12 miles, south of the Sea of Galilee. The construction of the castle began in 1168. Around 50 knights and 450 warriors, as well as their families and staff, were housed in Belvoir. Despite its state of disrepair, it is one of the best preserved Crusader castles in Israel, which has the highest number of Crusader castles of any country.